You ever feel totally lost in the world of fitness, with all the crazy, conflicting advice out there? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we are going to cut right through all that noise and build a simple, powerful blueprint for understanding physical training. Seriously, by the end of this, you'll have a clear map to guide your thinking. Let's jump in.
So, let's start with the big one. We throw around the word fit all the time, but what does it actually really mean? Is it about being able to run a marathon, lifting some crazy heavy weights, or is it something else entirely?
I mean, just look at this. Fitness can look completely different depending on what you're doing. You've got the incredible control and flexibility of a gymnast. That's one kind of fitness. Then you have the explosive agility and just nonstop endurance of a soccer player. That's another. They are both obviously fit, but in totally different ways. So that tells us fitness isn't just one thing. It's a whole collection of different qualities. Okay, so to build our blueprint, we first need to understand the raw materials. Think of these as the fundamental building blocks. These are the core components that make up any and every type of physical fitness you can imagine. Let's see how these blocks connect. Just take this Taekwondo athlete. That powerful kick isn't just about raw strength, right? It's about generating that force quickly. And this combination of strength and speed, well, that's a building block we call power. Then we have a block that, many of us are pretty familiar with, cardiovascular fitness. This is your engine. It's all about how efficiently your heart and lungs can pump oxygen to your muscles so you can keep going over time. Think long-distance running or swimming. That's your cardio fitness at work. And hey, remember those soccer players from a minute ago? Their key component is agility. It's not just about being fast. It's the ability to stop on a dime, start up again, and change direction at high speed without losing your balance or control. It's absolutely crucial in most team sports. So in total, exercise scientists have identified 10 of these main building blocks. We've talked about power, cardio, and agility. But there's also balance, like the gymnast, coordination, like a tennis player, and the pure speed of a sprinter. Every single physical skill you can think of is just a unique recipe, a unique combination of these 10 ingredients. So, now that we know what we're building with, how do we actually build it? Okay, so we have our building blocks, but just having a pile of bricks doesn't build a house, right? You need a set of instructions, a set of rules, to put them together in a way that actually works. In fitness, we call these the principles of training. These are the non-negotiables. These are the rules for making real, lasting progress. It doesn't matter if you're a complete beginner or a pro athlete, these principles are what govern how your body adapts and gets fitter. Trying to train without them is it's like trying to build that house with no foundation. It's just not going to work. The first rule is so simple, but it's incredibly important. Specificity. Your body gets better at exactly what you ask it to do. Simple as that. If you want to be a better swimmer, you have to spend time in the pool. If you want to improve your 5K time, you've got to run. Your training has to be specific to your goal. Next up is progressive overload, and listen, this one is the magic ingredient. To get stronger or faster, you have to consistently challenge your body just a little bit more than it's used to. And the reason why is so cool, this stress creates these tiny little tears in your muscle fibers, which your body then rushes to repair, making them even stronger than before. That's adaptation. If you do the same exact workout forever, you'll just stay the same. So how do you actually do progressive overload? Well, the FIT principle is your practical guide. Think of it like your control panel. To make your training harder, you can just tweak one of these 4 things. You can train more often, that's frequency. You can train harder, intensity, train for longer, time, or change the kind of exercise you're doing, type. It's a really simple framework for making smart progress. And finally, the principle that none of us wants to hear, but we all need to remember, reversibility. This is the use it or lose it rule. If you stop training, your body pretty logically stops adapting, and all those fitness gains you worked for will gradually start to fade. It's exactly why consistency is king. All right, we have our building blocks, the what. We have our rules, the how. Now we need our tools. These are the specific training methods you can use to apply the principles and develop the components you actually want to target. Let's look at 2 of the most common tools in the toolbox. Continuous training is exactly what it sounds like. Steady work without any rest, like a long, easy jog. Interval training, on the other hand, is all about mixing short bursts of really intense work with periods of rest or recovery. Both are amazing tools, but they build different components of fitness. And your toolbox is huge.
There's something called fartlek training, which is kind of like a playful, unstructured version of intervals. You've got circuit training, where you move quickly through a series of different exercises to hit multiple fitness components all at once. And you've got plyometrics, which use explosive jumps to build pure power. The key is always, always picking the right tool for the job.
Now, when we talk about how hard to train, that's the I for intensity and fit. We need a way to measure it. For cardio, the gold standard is heart rate. Now, a simple way to estimate your maximum heart rate is to just subtract your age from 220. It's not perfect, but this number becomes a really useful reference point for us. And using that max heart rate, we can define specific training zones. The aerobic zone, which is between about 60 to 80% of your max, is perfect for building that cardiovascular base. But if you push into the anaerobic zone, above 80%, you start developing speed and power because you're working so hard your body literally can't supply oxygen fast enough. This chart really helps you visualize it, right? Training in that lower intensity aerobic zone feels totally different, and it produces a totally different result than going all out in that higher intensity anaerobic zone. Knowing which zone you're targeting helps you use the right tool for your specific goal. And guess what? The same idea applies to strength training. Here, intensity is measured as a percentage of your 1 rep max. That's the absolute most weight you can lift for a single repetition. Lifting lighter weights below 70% for more reps builds muscular endurance, but lifting heavier weights above 70% for fewer reps, that's how you build pure strength and power.
So we've looked at the what, the how, and the which, the building blocks, the rules, and the tools. Now, let's put our entire blueprint together and see the whole big picture.
And here it is. This is the logic of effective training. It's so straightforward. First, you decide which blocks or components of fitness you want to improve. Then, you apply the non-negotiable rules, like progressive overload. And finally, you select the right tools or training methods to get the job done. It's a simple, powerful system that just works. We've gone from confusion to clarity. You now have this solid framework for thinking about any fitness goal. So the only question left is the most important one. You have the blueprint. What are you going to build?